What's up? What's up? What's going on, folks? What's happening? Are we making it? Are we making it today? I don't even know. You know. 'Cause I know. We're getting set up here. We're gonna do our best. Like what's going on with the economic calendar? I believe it's FMCO day. FMC, whatever you want to call it. Whatever they call it. I'm of the not knowing. There is crude at 7:30.
It's something others bothers me right now because, as you know, I want to keep a bullish push for the euro dollar and British pound dollar. But on the daily chart, if we just create a trend line or relative strength index like this, you can see that we had three dots. The first one from the January when we started to go up.
All right.
Another in the April when we had this crazy movement, as you remember, 400 or 500 pips down and then up. That was the second dot. And the next dot we had in the middle of the May when we created one simple, simple bearish leg during the bull market. And now we can see that yesterday we broke that trend line. I know that this is nothing. This can change and we can go up and everything. But this is something that can really be the first indication that maybe the dollar can go higher.
Right at the beginning.
Maybe during the summer or something like that. So the yesterday push downside was really hard. And I really think a lot about that. And this is something that I didn't expect so huge to be. I thought, okay, we will create 100 pips down, no problem. But this push, it was really hard. On the euro dollar, the situation is a little bit better. If you watch on the daily chart, the relative strength index trend line
here
is not broken. We keep that bullish bias, either that we are a little bit slower there. We are above a simple moving average 50 on a daily chart. We are keeping this with a small oscillation, but it looks still bullish. However, this push down side was really hard. So what I want here, if I see that we break this trend line on relative strength index here. So what it means is if I see that price is above 1.1540, I will be bullish, clearly bullish from the euro dollar perspective. And if we are still below the simple moving average and pushing downside, of course, I will wait for some better point, either to sell, either to buy. So I'm open for the both sides. In trading, so there's no problem with that perspective. For the British pound dollar, if we watch on the 1 hour level, my bullish bearish invalidation point is somewhere around 1.349. So if I see the hourly close above 1.349, I can again be bullish for the British pound dollar on the intraday level. As a trader that don't have any kind of trade, just to look for a nice push up or down. Right now we're pushing downside just before the US opening range, but this means nothing. So in 1 hour we will see where we stand, but for now, this is really, really nothing. What I'm looking to right now is the gold. Gold is the problem last day, but now we are recovering here. The relative strength index is broken. Now we are bullish again.
Got us here. Membership
We
takes
just
it next level.
show you that on the 1 hour chart. So if this was the bearish move for the gold, so yesterday with this push, actually early morning with this push upside, we started to go upside, and we are right now above the simple moving average. And I think that gold is
Order
higher,
filled.
maybe to the high of the June 16. Maybe we can reach this level of 3,446. So this push is possible, but what we need to watch is Fed announcement and the chop price that can exist because of that. So what I would like to see, I would like to see that US Fed just decrease interest rate for a little bit, and that will completely put the market where we were 2 days ago, maybe higher. For euro dollar, for British pound dollar, the US dollar index should go to the median price that we were 2-3 days ago. So everything will be aligned if we got this interest rate cut. And of course, because I'm talking about US dollar index, just to show you that.
Stop filled.
So right now, when we touch this crucial level around 97.6, we started to go up, and we're going up right now. The relative strength index trend line is bullish. We have some kind of the bullish outlook right now. We have a push upside, and this is clear for now. But like I said, after the news, everything can change. Of course, if I see that US dollar index break this hourly trend line on relative strength index indicator, I will be bearish again, and I would like to see new lows for the US dollar index, which can be the best thing that I think can happen here.
So far, this
now, what I want to share with you is just to see a few other pairs before I show you my Japanese yen. So as you can see, we are pushing a little bit higher on the chart. However, the relative strength index indicator show a little bearish divergence there. So it's so mixed and it's so complicated for trading for me on intraday level. So I'm of course out of this trade. And as you can see, it looks like that last 5 days we are in bullish mode, but it's so their lack of the strength of momentum. We don't have that momentum for US dollar Japanese yen, and this is why I suggest that traders should be very cautious if they decide to trade US dollar Japanese yen. I'm watching another forex pair, which is very interesting, and it's a US dollar Canadian dollar, and I will show you why. And this can be very interesting for traders. Look, this is the daily chart. I can draw this is like this. So we are really in bearish mode. If you check here, just from the beginning of the February, we are so bearish. It's a really strong bearish move. But from the yesterday, we have some push. It's not big. It's not big by the volume and maybe by the price action. But you can see on my relative strength index, this push is really strong when we compare with I can say last several weeks. And of course, this is nothing. But if something happens tonight, when Fed maybe decrease interest rate, this can really in that case can bring a new lows, a new push downside. However, if something happens and markets start to go in different direction, for traders that they like to be on the side of US dollar and believe that US dollar will go higher and higher, one of the best currency pairs to trade is to buy US dollar CAD. It's because we are really oversold here. Whatever you want to accomplish, you can get very good risk-reward ratio. And for people that like to buy US dollar, I think this is the good catch and good opportunity. Of course, to pick the right side and to enter the market the right way, we still need a little bit to wait. And now I will show you my trades just to see what I took last night. I know this is the really, how to say, should not believe a lot of in these trades because I'm very close to my stop loss. But as you can see, I have two trades. One of them, believe it or not, I will just find the fill price. Yes, I took it price 1.3425. So it was really close to the ultimate low that we had.
So it kind of
and
dropped
of
down.
course, I put my take profit to 1.375. So this is the, I risk 0 pips because I put my stop loss to the break even. And my take profit is more than 300 pips. I know this looks like fair tale, but this is the trade that I don't have a risk and I don't think about. And other trade is very close to the stop loss because I took about 1.432 during the Asia session when I saw this push higher, and I'm very close, few pips to close this trade, but we will see will it close or not. The same thing, I have a huge take profit. This is the, zero risk trades and with a huge potential if something happens and in some moment Fed decide to decrease the rate. So this is like a free bet in gambling. I don't have any kind of risk and I can win a big prize. So of course, this kind of trades, there's nothing here that can be in my favor that it should go higher, etc. British pound dollar is in bearish mode. We are more bearish than bullish on intraday perspective. Right now we have last 2 hours pretty bearish for the British pound dollar. We couldn't break 1.346. So we are right now at 3.440, and I just watching what's happened. I didn't touch the stop loss yet, and maybe something can happen here, and maybe we can see some kind of the spike, because I assume 99.99% that Fed will not increase interest rate, can only decrease and be flat. I don't expect that we can have so big push down for the British pound dollar, actually so push high for the US dollar. So in that case,
Order filled.
I think that this is some kind of the free bet. We counter trade that I just pick a good level and try to exploit that, nothing more, nothing less.
We gotta make sure.
So this is it from the from this first part of this talking. I will just stop my screen and we will see what will happen with my trades.
Awesome.
Lots of sales happening.
Steven, anything happening your side?
Just
We lost Steven.
Go ahead, Igor.
You were saying,
Oh,
Igor?
I'm here. I heard Igor speak up, so I thought he wanted to.
I just wanted to answer on question because Andre made a question for me. Thank you a lot for this question. So the question was, Igor, British pound dollar changed the trend. I just want to say on intraday level, British pound dollar changed the trend. We are bearish now. My bullish bearish validation point is 1.349 because I believe if we go above 1.349, we are again bullish. However, on 4 hours and daily time frame, we are still bullish.
See what that
but there is a chance
was.
something
So that was rising volume,
change here. So this
volume.
day is very, very important for the
It's
bigger
going up,
bias
and
and
we
everything.
hit
So
like half of
we
it.
need to wait the Fed to see the price action. And if we stay, you know, above these lows from the yesterday, maybe we can go again bullish.
I know, we're
But
trading our
we need to adapt if something
crazy
changes.
account.
Only that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Excuse me. Yeah. So the market did exactly what I was want to share my there, Richard.
Yeah, it's showing up now.
There we are.
Yeah.
See that it's sharing now. Now we were up here before opening it. The first minute took us down. After that first minute opened up, after that first candle opened up, when it pulled back, I took a short. And when we were discussing earlier price, I expected it to go down. I wanted the midnight price. Shooting back to this. So that was my target down there, at least to the 2750 line.
Stop filled.
I feel like it's
Nailed it, and it's reversed.
It looks like we're
Gotcha.
dropping.
Cool. Done and
But at
dusted.
the same
So,
time, it does look
very
like we're
short.
going up. Like we're accumulating.
There's 80, 70, midnight price is 70. I was in and out in less than a minute candle, $220.
All right. Awesome.
That's all I need to do.
Awesome. I just quickly
Very,
want to
very,
show
very
you my
quick.
crude oil chart, if that's okay, Stephen, because I've just executed a trade here.
Yeah, definitely like to hear your input on crude oil, being with all the economic factors we have going on.
Yeah, sure. Let me just present quickly.
Crude oil did you
Yeah, so I've been being bullish with all
crazy
this geopolitical issues that's been going on. Yesterday with Igor in the room, I did take a trade on crude oil. I'll just quickly jump into my charts here and explain the setup we were looking at. Firstly, I had a look here at the higher time frame chart,
That's dropping.
and I was discussing the possibility that we might see a higher bounce to the upside. This after price broke down below this multi-month descending triangle formation, and it was around about, when was it, here in June 25th, that myself and also Howard were starting to think that we're probably going to see a nice strong move to the upside. Purely technical, right? This is now before all this geopolitical issues start happening and so forth. We had a little gap that I think a couple of weeks ago, that we were projecting prices could move towards. That was like, and this high that was set at 72.22. Yesterday's trade was purely taken using market geometry. And I had a pitchfork sloping to the upside, and it was round about this area. Switch to a smaller time frame and to yesterday's price action that I waited for crude to move into. And this was actually before I made this little box here, before price actually tagged it. Price tagged it, we start making a move to the upside, and I was around about, I think, 71.50 that I actually got into this trade. and took a trade back to the center median line of this market geometry pitchfork, right? Now, the ensuing move to the upside here was pretty decent and strong, but I'm like yourself, Stephen. I don't like to hold things for too long. I like quick satisfaction, get in, get out. Obviously, after the fact, it would have been nice to have hold this for much longer. But if we switch now to the 5-minute time frame, and we look at today's price action, we just took out yesterday's high, right? We had a little bit of a decline back into this mess. We've had a fair value gap that formed a short while back. It's actually here on the 15-minute time frame. You see these fair value gaps, the ones in green, they're all obviously bullish at the moment. And we also have bullish order blocks that I look at some stage. So we just took out the previous day's high. We had a reaction, which is typically what you get. You have a lot of breakout traders that want to go long. Sometimes you get deeper reversals. That might still be a possibility, although there was a pretty strong fair value gap that formed on the smaller time frame as price took out that previous high. So as price pulled back into it, I just took a stab at it and got long crude oil, which you can currently see on the chart there, right? So price actually moved a little bit deeper than I anticipated, or would have liked, sorry, into this fair value gap here. And let me just quickly make that green so it stands out a bit better.
The 4-seat Mario Kart vehicle lets families and friends play together.
And now I'm anticipating a potential continuation to the upside. Looking for a 2-to-1 or 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio on this. If we do take out this most recent high that formed about 10 minutes ago, I'm going to move my stop a little bit higher to tighten it. And aiming for... Let me just go back to this 4-hour time frame.
Just feels right. Oh, it is right. Now this is your special Mario Kart
the center median line over here.
What's
So
your
we've got a
target?
smaller frame pitchfork sloping to the upside, center median line here, and we've got a longer term pitchfork taken from 4-hour, and where they basically converge over there is the target area, like that, and potentially resistance that might step in. Might have the legs to do that, but maybe not. Do you see that chart? Sorry. That's the higher time frame chart. So looking for price to move into the inflection point or those areas where a smaller pitchfork from a lower time frame and a pitchfork from a higher time frame at two different angles basically converge, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much where that target is. Hopefully we can get this little push now into that area. Thus far, I'm a little bit in the green at the moment, but not by much. So, yeah, sorry for interrupting, Stephen, but I'll keep you guys updated should price continue higher, if I get stopped out, or if I decide to actually try and stop.
No, you're totally fine. This is so back in the end, looking back at NQ right now, current traders looking at the NASDAQ. Just right back up. You know, it's crazy. We had a nice dump this morning, straight down to the levels I was looking at, and right back up.
Right back up.
Though this is the reason tried to be greater, because it went down in 5 minutes and it took 15 to go back up. So a lot of traders, if they did even get short anywhere in the drop, and we don't like to get high on opium here, all right? That's not what we're here for.
No.
Came back to
Yeah, that
midnight,
definitely
and
looks
I
like
almost
they ran
guarantee,
that morning session
a lot
low.
of traders started reporting midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it came back for this rejection at midnight, guarantee a lot of traders started going short. Took them out.
All right, see what it's doing, guys. We're in. I mean, we're not in, but
awesome about it right now. So just currently watching back at my range.
Cool. Yeah, it was it looked like the price just took out that morning.
See my chart.
Where's my
Chart loads here.
screen gone now? Looks like it took out. If you look there to the left, did it actually make a double bottom with that 704 timestamp there, or did it actually just
it's wicking into it?
and
The
go up?
bodies are staying below it down here.
Mm-hmm. Right. Igor, how's things going your side?
I'm just watching what's happened right now. I can share just my screen if you want.
Yeah.
I will just share. I'm watching everything that I can see. For either I just watch crude oil just to see how the market is look like. Actually, I will just share my screen right now. What I'm looking right now is a volume on futures market for British pound dollar, actually, because the futures usually there is delay of a few the time. Just analyzing is that we got a lot of false breakout of them false, and then we got. However, if I go just to the British pound dollar CFDs, which is actually priced right now in the moment, what we can see on I will take a 1 minute chart. We're struggling and starting to push a little bit higher. So both of my trades that I have, which are bullish for British pound dollar, are right now, both of them are alive, and we are pushing higher right now. We are trying to go to the 1.345. And I see the British pound struggling right now. The good thing is, if for all traders that want to be bullish right now, British pound dollar, is that we didn't retest the yesterday low. Actually, we were not even close. We are from the beginning of the Asia session, at least more than 25 pips above that area, which means that there are a lot of buyers in the market right now, and the price is just waiting the news, and we are nowhere right now. But the good thing is for the British pound dollar and euro dollar buyers is that we are fighting. So it is not like, you touch the low and the next day you try to touch again that retest that low support area. And right now we are fighting, but we will see what will happen to the end of the US session and before the news. If we analyze right now the 1 hour chart, for example, this US opening range, we are bearish. We're still bearish, but there is a small bullish divergence here.
Order
and
filled.
this is the nothing right now. This blue line is the line which I think that if we break, we will go and then try to retest the yesterday low. Now we are keep above that area, and I still watching here to see what will happen there. Relating to the euro dollar is very similar push like a British pound dollar, but the good things for the euro dollar, I think that it's little bit slower and stronger than British pound dollar. Right now we're fighting against the yesterday low. There is a pressure here. I see that pressure for the euro dollar, and what I'm looking for is this low from the yesterday, 1.1475. If we break that low, that means that we are continue lower. But I don't think that before the news we'll have some stronger push, because the market is in the process of waiting, and I think that the best the best thing, if you're not over in the trade, I think it's not smart to sell yet. If you want to sell euro dollar and British pound dollar and respect the intraday level, and for buying maybe, but with a tight stop loss, low risk, more as a, you know, it's more like a betting than trading, just because we're waiting for the news and we don't know what's happened. But betting is always advised right now. Of course, I had the good levels, so I did that in the moment when I really got good levels. But I will not repeat that. If, for example, right now markets start to go down, for example, 20 pips down, both of my trades will be closed.
What's going on?
And I will not trade anymore. I will not trade anymore. I will really wait for the news, and I will not make any kind of the bet on any side, because first, it can be very volatile. And the second thing, even that interest rate is decreased and we got a strong push, market will give us a lot of opportunities, because when you have a good bias and you have really, you know, bullish bias, everything is aligned, beautiful, you will find a good spot to enter into the trade in some moment, and you will keep that trend. So I don't worry about that. I just want to protect my capital. This is the only thing that I'm just thinking right now.
Interesting. Yeah.
And one of the, about the US dollar index, like I said, we are pushing higher right now a little bit, but even that looks like we are pushing higher. When I zoom out the chart, like now, you see, it's still bearish. When you watch this, we are still bearish. We even can create a trend line on the chart, starting from this point, for example. Just to draw that, I will just draw just to see how that we can start from here and keep this trend line, as you can see. So we are still bearish. Even this look like a bullish, strong bullish push, we're still bearish. But of course, after the news, everything can change. So we need to be open eyes. And I will go to one more setup, the setup from the yesterday. Actually, as you remember, I got a sell order for Euro Aussie, and I closed yesterday. And when I saw right now, I didn't make mistake, because we found here support, and my target was pretty lower. It was here, so somewhere 60 pips below the low that we have right now. So I think that it's not for that. So it was the good decision. When you don't see the momentum and push downside, just leave that. And I was, of course, in profit. I had a lot of profit, but the problem is there's no momentum, no strength. I watch all crosses: Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi, British Pound Kiwi, British Pound Aussie. There's no momentum.
We're going to target all the way
down.
So
I know that the volatile pairs can go in one another direction, etc. But as you can see, there's no momentum at all. It looks like, you know, bearish divergence, bearish move. Everything looks like a bearish here, but still nothing. There's no momentum. It's more look like correction. For example, we can use Fibonacci retracement here, start from the bottom, and
we're hoping, guys. We're hoping. Let's
like this, yes. And as you can see, right now we are at the 50% of the Fibonacci retracement, and we just stop there. And this is just the reason to wait to see, will the market start to go down, or maybe just recover and start to go up again. So this is the setup that I will not enter anymore on the crosses.
This is why you don't do that
right now. I will
stop filled.
Wait and trade either the euro dollar, either the British pound dollar.
It is touching.
And I just want to ask you guys about something. I'm watching US dollar indices in NASDAQ.
Is trying.
Do you see that we are recovering on intraday level, or you still see this as a bearish? How do you see the market right now?
On the US dollar?
I see it bearish right now, definitely.
Yeah, same here.
On the NASDAQ, yeah, he's got tech up. He's got 100 tech up. I'm actually short again. I took a short and a paper trade account this time, so it'd be more visual. I'm short at least a 950, ultimately to 855 if it'll give me the whole pull. Your numbers, the prices are going to be different compared for US tech cash. The recent low at open would be the
dang,
once it
right
breaks
away.
this is when I would want to go.
Okay,
we're doing fine.
Break even. I mean, I could take profit. I want to come at least to 866.
Tommy, what was that green zone again on your charts?
We're gonna have another red day. Is that what we're gonna do? That's crazy.
Target, cover, or not covering, but protecting my position.
All right, let's see what's happening.
Okay.
So coming up here, like we were discussing, we have the sell up. We have the back up. And I'm back and staying below this 32 range.
Order filled.
This is like my high, so I'm gonna start deciding, should I get out of this in this area if I have to. Other than that, I'm not gonna stress until I go start pushing above this level of 22,033 on the new contract.
I feel like it's gonna break.
Gotcha.
I was up about 500. Could have liquidated the 500. I did not. So now I'm in a little bit of draw. But I'm sticking to my technicals. You know, emotionally, I'm freaking out. You know, like, oh no, 300 at that point. But the goal is to remember that your technicals and remember your levels. And as you see, I've switched away from the trade. This is what I actually do when I'm actually trading. I have the trade here. My technical is here. I know where my stops are. I did the math in my head. I have this one contract going up all the way to my max stop. I'm going to lose this much money. I need to make this much money off the trade. I need to get this far before I can even break even on the trade. So I've already mapped it all out.
Stop filled.
So staring at a negative P&L is not doing me any good. Staring at a positive P&L sometimes is not even doing you any good. You got to follow your levels. So as you can see on my chart, I can tell I'm rejecting the top at that 32 level up here. We came up to it. It was really scary on that 1 minute chart, I'm sure. 1 minute chart, it was really scary in my method at this point. That's about all I got. Oh, and Igor wanted to mention this. So Igor had mentioned
yes,
the economic or the
order
factors of
filled
war overseas having to do with oil and the Fed interest rates, and that the Fed could be less willing, like if they were willing to do a surprise cut this time, right? Maybe we should hold off. But if we remember back in COVID in 2020, in February, before COVID even happened, intentions were building that something major was going to happen. The Fed emergency cut rates to try and prevent or try and slow down the amount of how much it dropped. You know, they're trying to mitigate that. I mean, obviously, we sold off trillions and trillions really, really fast because of dip. But that's the reason one of the reasons that I was leaning more towards the possibility of that surprise happening. You know, I'm not.
We trade this one when we just want to trade. We try to take our good trades over here.
80% positive that or they probably won't. But if I were to take a position, which I did, so if I were to take a position on a bet on this would be the time I would want to do it. This would be the time that I'd be like, hey, let's throw some money I'm willing to lose at a futures contract on Robinhood. Robinhood allows you to basically gamble on that now, like Polymarket and different things. So I do have some contracts open. They're
Stop
cheap,
filled.
but I see this as the high probability gamble. If it's gonna happen, I'm gonna gamble it away. I might not get contracts for 2-3 cents again next month for a simple movement of 25 basis points. So this is that gambling point for me on that. I see enough to make that possible.
Gotcha.
I got like
Order filled.
Contracts for any kind of change. Doesn't matter what they change. They can change it 0.0001%.
Okay. Just quickly want to update you on that crude oil trade.
So it'll pay me
So
$400.
Oops.
It's not working out so well.
We've had one heck of a quick decline there. Not sure what that is, but I did tighten my stop by more than half, so took a very, very small loss there. Almost wanted to go to break even as price broke above here. I just didn't like how slow it was moving upwards. And also being aware that we have crude oil inventories at 10:30. This might be some sort of news other than the economic calendar or crude oil inventories that's coming out. Very fast movement. This happened in literally a few seconds. So not sure what's going on there. Again, looking at a very small time frame here, but yeah, glad I got out of that. Very small loss, but yeah, unfortunately wanted to protect the position. Again, like you also do, Stephen, don't like to be in things for too long. I want to see that momentum when I get into a trade. Yesterday's trade was really nice, strong, powerful move with price not looking back, but yeah,
Stop filled.
out of that. So just a quick update.
Oh, we gotta stop jumping in the morning like that. On our other one.
Wow.
Not sure what it is, but I'm definitely gonna have to have a little bit of a Google, see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking for something. It definitely caused the NASDAQ to push up on me.
Yeah. Is the NASDAQ going up still? The NASI. Yeah, we were up something like 0.5%. Now we're down more than 1.5% on a crude oil, just literally in almost 2 minutes time. Pretty insane.
I think I know what's happened. There is a tweet from the Donald Trump.
Of course.
This is the reason. This is the reason.
Will not be surprised. Hi, Stephen. We lost you there for a minute, but you're back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Chrome just completely shut down. All Chrome just.
Yeah, mine did that yesterday.
Charts are still up.
Yeah, Oxys FX, you're probably right. Let's maybe sell the pops in crude. We'll see. Yeah, I can't see anything. What's driving this decline? Could just be crude oil, but it's pretty weird that it's doing that right before the crude oil inventories, which is still due in 20 minutes time. But let's see.
It's I wouldn't say too out of the ordinary for stuff like that before news events. I like to.
No, of course not.
So you got some crude news, right? And so when it comes to NASDAQ and in the futures markets, say we're coming up to the change, you know, if they're going to change rates or not this afternoon, right? A half hour before that time, insiders, people who know who know probably what's going to happen, people who get data 5 minutes beforehand because they pay for it, insiders, another set of insiders, right? The people like that are moving their positions in that half hour. Same thing with the stock market 30 minutes before open. Some people have access from 8 to 8:30 or 9 to 9:30 to trade stocks at a different level on different books. And those moves are being made before the dip up. So so if people want to buy up and we start getting a dip just beforehand, and I'm expecting a bullish move, I could see that. People who are expecting a bearish move could have just sold all right there, and now it's going to continue to go down. But as you said, you were ultimately bullish, and the economic factors are very bullish for oil as well, and your technicals sound on point. So this could just be the dip before the big rip to take out the people like you who see the long.
Let's get everyone out as well, you know?
Exactly, trying to chase everybody out and trying to get you going the other way by 10:30.
Yep.
Trying to get you to flip your bias. That's how I see things like that sometimes with 100%. The news. Trying to force and scare people away from the actual, what's actually about to happen, because they have the inside information. Some people do have that inside information. Market makers are stacking orders of people who are putting in an order to buy and sell and stuff, and they're stacking them up and then dumping them off and making these large movements as well. So at some point they have to
getting themselves in a better position.
So otherwise, if those makers don't, those makers can get trapped too. So they want to get in and out, and they want to collect so many positions and then dump them off and create large movements. But they can also get trapped.
Yeah.
So it's everybody against everybody, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Nobody's. So we're still in the negative on my trade here. Between my ultimate stop here and my box, I'm going to be deciding: do I want to get in? Should I get out? Should I hold? I can see the same log. New week opening gap right here. It's still holding it down. It's starting to push through. It's not looking very good for my trade. We're almost to my full stop point, or I might have to get out. Oil, whatever that news was, it's affecting me the same way.
Yeah.
I believe trying to chase me out of the.
Richard and Steven, I have a question for you. Just you can tell me, did you ever think about that and exploit that in your trading? So based on the statistics, for example, for NASDAQ, in 2024, we got, 144 days up and 109 days down. In 2023, again, the similar numbers, around 140 days up and rest down. So we have around 56 to 60% of all days when we have a NASDAQ is up and 40% when it's down. Have you ever, in your strategy, more favoring the bullish trades than bearish, for example, when you trade?
That's a difficult one. For me personally, I favor the bullish side. Like yesterday, we had who was it? Was with us again? He's a closet bear. He likes shorting things. So we all got our different opinions and different styles of trading. But I think there's periods when even with your strategy, everything flashes sell, and the market just goes the opposite direction. So bullish, I prefer the bullish side to be dead honest.
Late checkout, platinum card membership for a trip that's
and you, Steven.
Opinion, the market is designed to go up. The market always moves in waves and goes up. We have large pullbacks, but ultimately we're always going up. So the buy side really is the goal. But I am a bear. I like
order filled.
I like the short. I like taking advantage of the emotions of traders in these large buys like this. Like if I wasn't already in a short,
things move, it goes pretty fast. And if you're on the right side of it, it's very nice.
I was looking more for a continuation short today rather than. So I like to burn the emotions of people on the long side. Just preferably as like this morning, everybody wanted to be long, and I just shorted out. do like that. But I'm about 50-50. When I go back in my metrics, I think I even favor the long side a little bit more, but I love the short part. I prefer the short.
And my winning ratio is 50% too. Yes, that's a magical number. So if we have 70%, we pick the right bias, but on the end we have around 50% winning trades.
Yeah. How are we doing on time there? It's only 1:15, so we still have.
So I got a stop set in now on my trade here. Yes, I got a stop set on my trade here now. I'm looking at this chart with the Fibonacci on it, levels. I'm looking at manipulation. I'm hoping now at this point. I'm really hoping for manipulation of the 930 open that.
Well, there it goes.
Because that doesn't happen. So what I was looking for to happen were people that were chasing back to come back to open were going to get wrecked. And it still could be possible, and it could have reached and took me out, right? But what I was looking for is everybody's buying here. It broke the high, and now we're going to buy up, and everybody's buying too late to come to the 930 open. Let's see where this 930 open is and if it even actually touches it. So it hasn't even actually touched the 930 open yet. So I should have maybe put my stop above the 930 open, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So is that 930 open from yesterday, right?
But I did not.
Come on,
we
up.
all make our own trading decisions, but I was hoping to hold a longer trade. Definitely did not work out for me today.
That is trading for you.
And that is trading for you. Every little thing can cause you, any little thing can cause you to make a mistake. I'm streaming, that changes things for me. My wife opens the door and yells at me about the garbage can or something. That start changing things, And unfortunately, it really sometimes things quite like often, that too. And I have to walk away from the computer. I'm not liberty to say.
There it goes. You gotta be kidding me.
Say. But really just destroying it now. So that's okay.
Yeah, guys, look at this.
And for me, for the rest of my day now,
that's just life.
Yeah, wow. Oil is just losing it.
Crude oil, 3% down. Very interesting. That's a sharp decline.
I think that Donald Trump rejects to negotiate with Iran, and that impact the price of the oil. But this is just speculation that I'm getting in some platform.
Yeah.
But, it's a political news related to the oil and everything.
Order filled.
Order filled.
Okay. Yeah. Well, pretty insane move.
I'm gonna FOMO this.
Not unusual for crude. I've seen that many times. I've been trading crude for a very long time. Trying to maybe just Google over here somewhere what's happening.
Yes.
Have you got anything else to show us, Eagle?
So the level it just.
Sorry, Stephen. Are you going to take a trade?
1 minute dug in here.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying where crude oil stopped here is yesterday's opening range. So yesterday's 15-minute opening range here. So it just came and sold off into it and had a hard rejection back out of that range. So now I want to see if we can consolidate here and maybe pull back up a little bit, but maybe even have a pull. I mean, we're moving in waves. I'm not saying we're about to just go back to the moon or anything, but we could end up waving another wave up here. This is where I'm looking for a little pullback and see if we're going to reject the moving average or VWAP before the continuation down, or is this range going to hold?
You also got inventories in 8 minutes, so maybe just wait for that.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if we got news for the on oil right now. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I don't really see anything on my side that's relevant right now. It's all like 8 hours ago, 1 hour ago, 4 hours ago.
At University of Maryland Global Campus,
I'm not seeing much.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on the socials.
And job experience.
Yeah.
Bunch of trash talks.
Yeah, crude oil's going to $75. You know, they always do this after the fact, you know. Heading towards $75. 10 million barrel inventory drop fuels breakout hopes. It's like, I mean, the inventory is only coming out in 7 minutes. It's like, what are they on about? Anyway, the talking heads at the news stations that
Stop
do
Phil.
not know anything about trading.
Yes.
Thank you.
Guys, I plan to open a trade.
All right. Please show us.
Yes, I plan to do that. I saw something
Order
interesting
filled.
here, and I want to exploit that. First, I will create a trade, and then I will just give a little bit
Talk it through it. Okay.
the trading idea. Actually, these two trades that I already have, related to the British pound dollar are in profit, and I have a break even stop loss, so I do not count them anymore. So they're for me, I don't see them. Either it will be a profit, either it will be a zero risk. So because of that, I can trade anything that I like.
Shoot.
So what I'm looking here, I'm buying euro dollar. I'm buying euro dollar, and I'm putting just yes, here it is. I will put a stop loss at 1470. Actually, I will put 69.9 like this. It's a 40 pips stop loss, and for take profit, I will just put open, because this is something if happens that US Fed decrease interest rate. If they don't do that, it will be volatile market. Maybe I can close earlier this trade or something, or maybe the market will just hold. I don't know what will happen there. I would just want to show what I'm looking right now. I will share the screen.
Right here,
I will share the screen right now with euro dollar, and what I'm looking here is this. So we are above a simple moving average in the 4-hour chart, and during the US opening range, we're pushing higher here. And if you see this structure of last 4 hours euro dollar candles, you can see this bullish attempt here on 4-hour chart. On 1-hour chart, of course, the price is very choppy, but we are very, very close to make a breakout. I'll just show this. So we're very close here. There is a chance that we can break, or there is a chance that we can touch this and start to go down. If we start to go down, I can close my trade with a little profit or very little loss. But there is a very high probability that we will really keep around this Asia low that we got. Actually, it's a yesterday US session low that we had for euro dollar. And this is my only risk that I have, because that two bullish British pound dollars trades are break even in the worst case. And I know that this is the little risky bet, but I agree with Steven that there is a chance, even
we're really
there no nothing.
Stop Phil.
The price stays the same, flat, everything flat. And the other thing, we can push a little bit higher if interest rates decrease. So,
all right, so you're going long there at the moment.
So
you're buying the euro US dollar. Sorry.
Need this one to win.
Yes, I'm buying euro dollar. Yes,
Gotcha.
I'm buying euro dollar because I think that US dollar
Gotta
index
fake
can
this
go
out.
down if we decrease interest rate. And what I'm seeing this, and this is the
Order
very
filled.
interesting thing, when market sometimes feel the possibility for this, you can see how the NASDAQ, Dow, S&P 500 owned indices starting to go up in this session. I think that it's not by accident. They know if that happens, the stock market will go up. So there is a possibility that stock market go up, indices going up, and US dollar index to go down. So just because of all these small signs, I believe that can happen. And in the worst case, even that be flat, we can still be bullish for euro dollar. So that doesn't mean that the price of the US dollar will go up. Euro dollar can go up, and without the news, so we are pretty on the good side. And if I watch the market right now, just analyzing 1 hour chart, we can see still bullish here. This is the bullish push still. We are keeping higher, even that we're above this line here. Just to show you like this.
See, that's where we messed up. Because
So
if we would have stayed in, we would be super profitable. We're starting to do the same thing that we were doing prior, which was
I believe in that bullish trend, and I see how price is put a little bit higher right now.
We did that yesterday. It looks like we're doing it today. It's causing
We'll
quite a
go
bit
to
of
the
losses.
15-minute chart.
Another red day
And
in the
the
works
candle was
here.
really so it's interesting. It's interesting what will happen here. I see that we have a sideways market based on the choppiness index. Choppiness index is on the high, ultimate high for euro dollar and ultimate high for the British pound dollar, which means this is the sideways market for the euro dollar and British pound dollar. And that can be really easily become the trend, because and for euro dollar and for British pound dollar, we don't even try to retest the low. We didn't retest the low. So from the beginning of the today's sessions, either Asia session, we didn't go again from the
wrong
test
time
the
to
yesterday
stay in.
low, which can be good
Tough it
technical sign that price wants to go a little bit higher. So
Okay.
we will see. It's really interesting. What we
comes the news.
we are struggling, for example, for British pound dollar and euro dollar, we are struggling to go above the euro session high. As you can see, we just stopped there and we couldn't go there. We are sideways totally, and we are just waiting to something to happen. So
we have to.
We will see. I hope that the euro dollar is more stable for me. So I hope that it will not go to the bottom again. I hope that it will push higher. So we will see what happened there.
Wow.
Again,
Yeah, we got
wrong
crude
time
oil
to stay
inventories
in.
just came out minus 11.5 million. That's huge against the forecast at minus 2.3. I don't know if you're watching that on your side. That's pretty substantial.
Yes. Maybe
Yeah, that
someone got
Wow.
that result earlier.
Yeah, they're positioning themselves most likely.
Yes.
Minus
Maybe it's not the
11.5
Trump.
million. Yes, that's pretty ridiculous. Just trying to share that tab quickly. Where is it gone now?
That is
If you look here at the inventories,
Large
minus
deviation.
11.5. Forecast at
Wow.
minus 2.3. That's in a substantial number. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen here now. Are they going to push this back up again?
Yeah, how does it generally react to this news? How does oil generally react?
It can be quite volatile.
There we go. We're going up.
It's almost like the CPI numbers for crude oil. You know, especially when it ties in with like global geopolitical events, it
maybe
can sort
not.
of like magnify that.
Come on.
But I've also seen on crude oil, like, you won't have that effect until the day after, sometimes. So that's also a possibility. But yeah, not sure. We're not really seeing a bounce up at the moment. Things are pretty
Still looking
muted
at
price action wise. So
not my crude
yeah, that
oil
was that. That's a
trade.
very, 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 I would not say
Lost
weak
on a
mark, because it's not weak, it's just way less than I
scalp.
expected.
We were positive,
Yeah, that's
then
a
we
big,
went a little
big
negative.
A massive difference. Yeah. Yeah. I think
And
the last
looking
time
back
that was
at the
in
history,
July.
looking back at the history, it does get some dips like this.
Dude,
It does,
come
yeah.
on, stay up.
We got the one on July 3rd, 2024. Right there.
And it bounced right back up, and some of the bounces
Yeah, I mean,
are
it's not unusual.
come all the way back up to zero. Yeah, every time it closes around that -10, -8, -10, it comes right back up near zero again on the next release.
Up, down, up, down, up, down.
Year.
Yeah,
that's the market.
That's
Yeah,
it.
up,
I'm
down,
not really
up,
seeing
down.
any sort of reaction from that. So who knows? Anyway, I'm pretty much done trading today. Took the small stop there, but yeah,
I'm just
not sure if I'll trade the afternoon session, especially going into this news event.
We're kind of from that 15-minute opening range that I did.
Sorry, you want me to show you charts? Stephen, you were breaking up a bit.
Yeah. We had rejected this 15-minute opening range. We came into our data here.
There it goes.
We'll push up.
There it goes.
Dip. So kind of see if we'd like to range here. Move.
Let's go.
Yeah, probably will.
Let's go to my target.
Kind of at least touch the bottom of the open gap here.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I'm not really an oil trader, but that's just what I'm saying. Plus these data points too as well. I said, oh wow, look at it go. How does it normally react? Does a high number usually mean bullish? Does a low number mean more bearish, or vice versa?
Well, that's the amount of crude oil they have in storage compared to the previous week. So basically, supply way less than the previous week. I mean, by quite a substantial number.
Well, we're almost halfway back.
You probably
to
know
even.
Trading, reading into these numbers too much doesn't always work.
But
draining the supply because it's so expensive.
So if there's way less supply,
the
the price
price
should be going up.
Here, we're positive here.
But there can be a lot of manipulation in crude oil's prices.
Mentally, in my brain, the way I think about it.
Again, we're messing up.
Yeah, mentally, the way I think about it is like,
we're learning to take.
If we were low on our inventories of crude, it feels like we are low because the price was low, and now prices are high. So they were tapping into inventories, hoping prices would drop again. And then the next thing I feel like
we need to be
is
smarter about
as
this
a retail trader or as a citizen.
What we were saying,
that part of a country that relies on oil. All countries in the world relies on oil for production and manufacturing and moving and shipping and all this transport stuff. Everything. Oil does everything, right? If we're low on inventories, now we have to drill, right? So now we gotta get more.
Yeah.
But if we're low on inventories and more geopolitical things happen, that's scary. That's scary to. Yeah, drill, baby, drill. So being low on inventories and being low on oil is like a weakness. Feels like a weakness to America right now. We're weak by not having that factor. So that could be. I see fear. I can see fear. Yeah, coming out of this.
Yeah, see fear, and it shows in the price action.
Stop filled.
Stop filled.
I'd like to see this range hold up though. Got a good jump to it. I'd like to see it hold up and push back up. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah. I would like it if they actually just
Anyways,
take out
we do
that
gotta
low
go.
first.
All the
Just
love.
pip
Peace.
it, and then you
Alright.
immediately
We'll
see
you
some sort of
later. Another
reaction
red
back
day.
upwards.
Red day 2. Last week we had.
Yeah, so
Uh,
if we do get a pullback
so we're
up,
actually
looking at the daily
back at
chart
the
here, I mean,
start
my
of
target would only probably go up
our-
to like 73.
So last week
25,
had 2
73 and
green
a
days, Monday and
quarter.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we're basically back at Tuesday.
Was that the previous day's
Essentially
close?
is
Yeah,
what
and
we're
then there
at.
goes to the bot there, 73
And
and
we
a
had
quarter is
2
about
red
that
days,
opening price.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, so I
and
mean, just
then
looking at the
we
daily chart,
Had
where the
another
VWAP
green day on Friday. That was very small
is
green
at
day.
73.
So we kind
that
of
would
came
be
in here
100.1.
starting anew. We have 2 red
Yeah.
days in the beginning of the week, or 1
Take
green
a-
day in the beginning of the week.
You probably have a bit of divergence
we
here
now have
between that low,
2
the
red
recent
days,
low, and
it
the current
seems
low.
like.
Just pip it, flush a few
We're
people
trying to
more
keep
out,
these at
and
a
then see it
minimum.
move back up. Potentially.
We're staying within our
Who knows?
Potentially, yeah.
our thing.
Let's see what CAD
Yeah,
is doing
it is
too.
what it is.
How CAD, USD CAD reacted to that oil, because I know CAD can be finicky with oil news, and that was extreme.
Mm.
It was an extreme print.